the deal, Mr. Sal. The New York Jets have not taken a snap yet this season. The New York Jets have not committed a penalty. The New York Jets have not pounced on a loose ball fumble. They have not yet had a meaningful Aaron Rodgers touchdown, but they've already racked up a couple of dubs. The New York Jets, to me, have handled this offseason, the headlines, the hype, the expectations, flawlessly. Bring it on. Broad shoulders. Keep talking about us. We're the best defense since that.
The Jets or the 85 Bears? Which team are you talking about?
On. I love it. I think it's a great approach.
I'd rather be the Giants and Brian Daboll's approach. You know, all this hype, BT, with the Jets. And look, I get it with Aaron Rodgers, but there's unnecessary stuff that's been going on. And Hard Knocks wasn't their fault, but there have been things that just are unnecessary where the Jets are putting a target on their backs as opposed to the Giants, who actually went to the playoffs last year, actually won a playoff game. Nobody's saying a peep about them. Under the radar, no nonsense. Daboll doesn't give anything to any media. There's no, issues with the Giants whatsoever. They just go about their business, blue collar. They're ready to go for Sunday night, where there's all talk on the other side of town.
But you think that's a bad thing? See, I don't think there was any way for the Jets to hide. And when that's the situation, I'd rather be proactive and embrace it and almost chase it and almost be the one to set the narrative. Like, yeah, the NFL stuffed Hard Knocks down the Jets' throat. I understand that. But DJ Reed, and I heard you in the open, talking about the 85 Bears and obviously the Legion of Boom and throwing up these historical parameters, what he expects his defense to do, who he thinks that his teammates can be. Like, they are adding to what the world is putting at their doorstep, and I just think it galvanizes the room. I think it keeps them on alert.
What happens, though, BT, when something goes wrong? Because inevitably it will. It might week one. Like when you have all that hype and all that talk. They talked about it during Hard Knocks last night. Hey, you want to be hated and blah, 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 blah. And Sal's mentioning if you ain't hated, you ain't popping and all this nonsense. Again, Hard Knocks isn't their fault. They got Rodgers, and I love that move. You got to do it, and with him comes the attention. But there are unnecessary, Sauce Gardner running his mouth, DJ Reed running his mouth, best defense, this, best defense, that. What happens if they get lit up by the Bills on Monday night?
Well, then we're going to see early what kind of character they have. And if those words were, based in reality or possible or elements of truth, or they were just a complete, fabrication of the situation. I almost think it's probably – I don't want it to happen in week one against the Bills, but I almost think it's better to kind of take one on the chin early and regroup and learn how to deal with that. Listen, Sal's right.
Adversity, right.
Yeah, they're not going 17-0. But the way I look at this is, because they're a New York-based team, because they've had and still own until it's deleted soon, the longest playoff drought in North American team sports. They brought in one of the most polarizing, talented quarterbacks of all time. And by the way, you got 40% of your games on primetime. To me, the side door was not an option. It just wasn't.
Would you rather, though, be the Giants going into the year or the Jets? I'm not talking about end results. I'm talking about the way the business is being handled here, where the Jets are the it team. Whether you are backing the Jets, whether people are hating on the Jets, they are the it team, the bullseye, the talk, all this stuff, and have accomplished zero. I mean, you mentioned you can't win in August, but they've accomplished nothing. Or would you rather be the Giants, who in year two, Shane Daboll went to the postseason, won a playoff game last year? Nobody's saying squat about your team. If anything, there are more doubters about Daniel Jones and what the Giants are going to do in their division, and their win total is low. Yeah. I'd rather be the Giants going in.
Well, it's funny because that's a good way to frame it. I think that the Giants' approach works for the Giants. Now, it's yet to be seen if the Jets' approach will work for the Jets, but listen, I think there's two ways to look at the Giants, in terms of how they're processing this. First of all, they take the lead from their quarterback, and their quarterback is very vanilla, very, very business-oriented. That works for the Giants. Rodgers is just different, and we'll see if it works for the Jets. But listen, there was no way, even if they tried, even if it was the most urgent, you see it's painted everywhere around the building, all gas, no brakes, and AGNB. Okay, fantastic. But even if that was replaced with be quiet, don't give quotes, just keep it under the radar, it's impossible because people are chasing the Jets. And to me, when you're being chased, most times when you're being chased, it behooves you to turn around and then try to chase back rather than run away from whatever that's chasing you. So I actually do like the Giants' approach, but I love the Jets' approach. I love it. I think that they're ready. Now, you got to play.
You're not running from
start. We'll see.
You're not running from it.
You can't.
Well,
you can't.
some people are. Oh, you want to lower the expectations.
You mean fans or players are?
Well, I don't think the players are. The fans are.
Yeah. I
players
think
seem to be embracing it. I don't know if they have a choice, right?
Excuse me. Oh, I just swallowed my
right?
saliva.
Fans,
yeah. Excuse me.
Do you need mouth to mouth? Hoff, get in here.
Okay. I'm good. Anybody but Dove. Listen.
The beard could be rough.
Yeah. I think that part of the reason some Jet fans, some are trying to do a little Heisman, like take it easy, is because they're perpetually hurt. They expect the worst, and I can't help that person. I can't. I understand it. I relate to it on my most emotional, vulnerable level. But I was saying this with Tiki, like from back in the day. Embrace it. Bring it all. I want it all. I'm here for it. We're never prime time. Let's go. And I like the lead that the Jets are taking. I really do.
It's just a little much. Like I do look with Rodgers. There's certain things you can't help, right?
Yep.
He's going to bring that attention. And again, the Hard Knocks. If they had their choice, they wouldn't have done it. And I thought they came across fine on Hard Knocks. Outside of the first episode where I didn't like Salah, I thought everything else was okay. But there's did Reed have to go out there and I'm not going to knock him for saying it or believing it, but did he have to do that? Like, they've done nothing. This defense wasn't a good defense last year. Now, the offense was awful, but it wasn't like this was a top defense.
Our defense was good.
Oh, come on.
Come on, the stats, they were top 10 in everything.
Play. I mean, if they were that good, they could have got to the postseason. I've seen the Giants under Ben McAdoofus had a crappy offense outside of one player with Odell Beckham Jr. years ago. They won 11-5 and made the postseason because their defense was good.
Well, Jets got to start taking the ball away. That part I'm with you.
Okay.
But the defense statistically ranked inside the top 10 in everything.
Yeah, but the stats.
I don't disagree fully. I hear you on that. They got to step up, no doubt.
And I think they will, for the record.
Me too. It's going to be awesome.
Right. I think they're going to be a good defense. My point is, they were just unnecessary. They already have the target on their back. Just shut up and go freaking play like the Giants do. Dable doesn't say squat. Dable's not talking about receipts this and receipts that. Even dating back to last year, Salah running his mouth about we're keeping receipts. Well, how'd that work out exactly, keeping receipts? Look at Dable. Look at the way the Giants run things under the radar, and they went further, way further. They went to the postseason and won a game a year ago.
Okay, different approaches. Let's see which one. I like them both, but I love, specific to the Jets, I really do like what they're doing. What do you think? 877-337-6666. BT and Sal on the Fan. Brandon Tierney, Sal Licata Show. Yeah, you can feel today. You wake up. Oh, no, don't worry. We're squeezing those Yankees a little later. Another win for my boys. But you could sense it. Now we're getting a little closer. It's almost go time. Charlie Bethpage says, Jets need to be under the radar a little bit more. Charlie, what's happening, buddy? How are you today, kid?
BT, you're killing me, man. Can we pump the brakes a bit?
No.
I mean, we haven't even played a first-string team yet. And we're going to play the 85 Bears? I mean, come on.
All right, Charlie, let me ask you. So you prefer to go in the more conservative route. Understood. Okay. So let me ask you this, though. The Jets, whether they deflected everything and all they did was project humility and, hey, one day at a time, like the Bill Belichick mantra, give us nothing, right? Say nothing, do nothing except play good quality football. Or this approach, Week 1, snap one Bills. Does it really matter? Do you think because the Bills heard DJ Reed say what he said about the defense that they're looking at each other saying, oh, man, we're going to come at those Jets even harder? They're going to be ready to go no matter what.
Listen, you know what? You put Allen on his backside 6 times in that first game on Monday night, then I could deal with it. But I need a game first. I need to see it first. I need to see them put Allen on his backside and then walk over him. I'll take a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty and show them what I have.
Well, the Jets are good for that. You know they're going to get a
first.
couple of 15-yard personal fouls called against them. Here's the thing, BT. I do think teams are going to be going more after the Jets because of all the talk and all the hype. Some of it not their fault, but some of it is their fault. Sauce Gardner, and look, they just have to back it up. That's the bottom line. You got to back it up. They have now set the expectations so high, whether it's their fault, whether it's not. The expectations are so high man, they're setting themselves up for disaster. Where the Giants, the expectations are actually low, coming off a divisional appearance last year, divisional round appearance.
The moment Aaron Rodgers got on that plane, came north, stepped into the podium, sat there with Saleh and Joe Douglas, no matter what he said, no matter what he did, the Jets couldn't hide. So now they're the aggressor. They're being proactive, and they're going to get hunted all year. And we'll see if they got the guts to stand up to being hunted. I love it. I truly do. Could it backfire? I guess. But let me flip this to you real quick. Like, even if the Jets were to really, I think it was it the Post? I think it was the Post, had the Jets going 8-9. Oh, God.
What?
I mean, I don't know if it was Costello, whomever it was. If the Jets go 8-9, forget about it. May have been Serby. I forget who it was, but
Probably
it was in the Post,
Serby,
right?
not Kaz. No,
I don't know, but
Serby, I like him.
yeah, I mean, I like them both. I've known
Me
Serby
too.
from Serby's. Oh, he's awesome.
He's a good dude.
He's a great guy. But if they're 8-9, right? Will they be 8-9 because somebody was popping off with their mouth, or because they just didn't play good? I mean, that's where I think I'm getting a little separation. Yeah, words matter in a lot of context matters, words matter. But applicable to football, the moment that ball goes up in the air, you guys are looking to kill each other anyway. What's the difference?
It's just too much, though, BT. And again, it's hard to criticize them because they didn't go out there and approach Hard Knocks. They were chosen for Hard Knocks. They did go out there and get Aaron Rodgers, and that's a credit to them, not a detriment. But just, come on, it's enough. All the Jets talk for a team. Like, I'd like to see some kind of humbleness from them, some kind of humility where saying, hey, guys, we haven't accomplished squat, and yet it's bleep this is what we should be, the way we should be feeling, and we're the best defense this and the best defense that. Like, oh my God, you haven't been in the playoffs in 13 years.
13, 877-337-6666. BT and Sal on the Fan inside of our Town Fair Tire studio. Our friends at Town Fair remind you that you always get the guarantee lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Bobby's out in Scotch Plains. Bob, what's cooking? Bobo.
Yo, hey, how you doing, guys?
Okay, Bob, how are you?
Love the show. Hey, and BT, my little brother was an athlete at your school the same year as you.
Oh, what sport did he play?
He played football. He was number 71, offensive lineman.
I mean, there's no way I'm going to remember that. If you tell me the name, I'm going to remember the number.
Sorry. Kevin McGinnis.
I feel like I know the name. Didn't hang out with him, but
You're
I feel like I
lying.
know the
Still
name.
doesn't know the
No,
name.
I swear to God.
Yeah,
No
offense, he doesn't know the name.
Stop.
It's okay.
Maybe he was the bouncer at Birdies. Maybe he kicked you out of there.
Oh, the bouncer. Actually, the bouncer at well, I actually got thrown down 3 steps. His Chief was the bouncer.
Yeah, Chief. He followed Chief.
Yeah, I got
He was
you.
the left tackle right after Chief.
Chief couldn't stand me. Go ahead, Bob. What's going on, buddy?
Okay.
Chief was
Hey,
like
listen,
300 pounds. He's a beast.
Oh, monster. And Big Brucey, too.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yep.
So, anyway, listen, I'm with you, BT. Growing up playing sports, you got to talk the talk. Don't be hiding from expectations. And yes, the Giants did better, but it's in the AAA equivalent of NFL football, the NFC. So listen, own it, talk to it. As a fan,
You're a Jet fan calling the NFC AAA? I mean, you would know about AAA as a Jet fan. No offense.
Hey, slow your roll there, too, with the amazing Brian Dable. I remember Eric Mangini looked pretty good after 1 year, too.
I like Mangini. I like Mangini.
Yeah.
Jets. One of the Jets' biggest mistakes they made was firing Mangini, as far as I'm concerned. Look, Brian
he had a super career elsewhere.
Oh, but that's
Pretty good on TV, Mangini, for a couple of years, right?
Well, he went. If you know about Mangini, he went to Cleveland, which had horrible ownership. He was never set up to succeed. By the way, the Jets head coaches after Mangini have really done well. Right?
I actually thought Mangini could have been decent. I agree with you.
He was the guy.
His problem, though, thanks for the call, Brian. His problem was that he was never himself. He came here and he tried to be Belichick, and he wasn't authentic. But in terms of intelligence, I had a lot of faith in him.
But
I liked him.
And the issue is he had to learn in New York.
Correct.
Which is why I always thought that, and I wouldn't have fired him, but it's hard to, you would have had to stick it out with him and see it through. By the way, his teams were the ones that Rex took to back-to-back AFC championships. I always thought Mangini, the second go-around, would be better, but then Cleveland, he was under the bad ownership, and he just never got, and his personality was one that teams wouldn't want to give him another opportunity.
Absolutely.
But I thought he could have been a great head coach.
So did I. And I thought he was going to get a chance again at some point, but he didn't. 877-337-6666. I mean, speaking of head coaches, the approach by Saleh. Now, I understand. And quite frankly, after the first Hard Knocks, I came on the air. I said, I don't know if Saleh's just kind of hammed it up for the cameras here, which I don't love because you're speaking about authenticity and being authentic to oneself. I still don't feel as if I know who the real Robert Saleh is. I know he's a man of morals. I know he's a man of toughness and camaraderie. But is he the guy who's dropping 13 F-bombs? I don't know if he's that. And if he is, fantastic.
There was
fantastic.
You watch Hard Knocks last night? Or
Snippets. I saw snippets of it.
There was one moment.
I actually forgot it was on for a while.
Dude, I thought it was over.
I forgot it was on.
We were talking about it weeks ago. They're 4, they're 5. And I was just like, oh, okay, it wrapped up, I guess. I didn't realize somebody was texting me. I go, wait a minute. Hard Knocks is on again? I watched it last night.
I was too busy watching the Yankees win another one. Keep going.
Good God. There was one moment where Saleh was talking about, teams are talking about we got to play this team and that team.
Yeah.
And he's like, bleep that. They want to play us. I thought there was a moment in there where he could have went, he was at like a 4. He could have went to an 8. Like they got to play us. We're the team to be. That's what I would have dialed it up. And he was like more, and I was like, all right. Now, I'm not knocking him, but I just thought he missed a moment right there to put the foot on the pedal and stamp it. They've got to play us. The way that he said it was like, they've got to play us too. I think you and I would be great NFL coaches. I don't know if we know schematically what to do, but boy, we'd yell as loud as anybody. First move I'd make is hire Francesa as the offensive coordinator.
No, as the offensive? No,
defensive
guy.
Joking around. Mike once famously said that he could have been a great head coach.
And he said he could maybe be the Yankees manager. Would he put Dominguez third like Boone is? 877-337-6666. Let's go to East Hanover. Scott, I love the Jets' approach. Bring it on. Let's go. Talking, woofing, being loud. Not everybody agrees. Scotty, what's going on?
DT, I'm here for your concern.
Why?
I'm concerned for you, bro. Listen, Giants, I'm a Giant fan, season ticket holder. I root for the Jets, but like Sal said, I mean, the talk has become a minutia of, it's sad in a way because, you got to climb the tree to pick the apples. You can't just shake the tree and catch the apples. And, I get it, Rogers. Everybody gets it. We get it already. We see the preview of the movie, but you got to come down just a little bit, BT, because I don't want you to fall too hard.
Well,
you're not going to be able to be picked up off the
that.
If you do fall, I'm just saying, I'm not putting the jinx. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The talk. I mean, if you hear from this side of the perspective, I get the Jet fans. I get the suffering, but. Yeah, no joke with the but. Enough.
Let me ask you a question, Scotty. Let me ask you a question. First of all, you married, single? I just want to make sure I could frame this.
I'm married for 25 years.
Just making sure. I thought so. Okay.
Got you.
Okay, but let's go back to, the single days, and let's imagine being in a room. Just a room with 4 walls, no outlets, no electronic devices, no books, no TV, certainly no women, right? And then all of a sudden, a model walks into the door, through the door, and she wants you. Doesn't want to just go to dinner. She wants you. And you say, you know what? Let's just stroll around Central Park and hold hands and take pictures and look at the pigeons instead of, going and doing what we got to do. So that's where I'm at. I'm doing what I've got to do because I've been locked in a room with no devices.
Right, but BT,
nothing
you should
for 13 years.
You should at least bring protection because you could get hurt. Be careful.
Exactly, Sal. I'm concerned.
Be a quick one too.
The fall could be very large. Coming down from the tree. But I wish the Jets well.
Think about it, BT. You're getting sympathy from Giants fans. That's the last thing you want.
That's all right.
Is it sympathy or empathy or apathy?
That would be more probably sympathy because the Giants, certainly they've had rough years, so they can identify with some lean times as well.
Isn't it insulting, though, the Giant fans like, hey, I'm worried about my little buddy Jet fan.
No,
I don't want you to get hurt.
If a Houston Texans fan called me up this year and said that, then I would take offense to it. The Giants, I've got too much respect for the Giants and their accomplishments to take it personally.
I'll root for you.
Although it will be personal October 29th. Then we'll see what's going on.
I cannot wait. I know they're not a real rivalry.
Destruction.
This year is going to create. There will be a rivalry.
The Jets are going to smoke them.
Woo! You fit right in. Where's Hard Knocks?
Exactly.
You Jets are going to smoke them. Oh, my
There's no yellow light. There's no red light. It's all gas. Honestly, I told you when I got the shirt I threw the shirts out. RotoWear made me a couple of all gas, no break shirt. I threw them out. I was so disgusted with the direction of the Jets. I took the Jet shirts, 3 of them. And they're nice shirts, good quality, like that soft quality T-shirt that threw them out. But you know what? I'm all in, and I'm going all gas, and I'm not breaking,
man.
and I'm not breaking at all. And when you lose, and when we lose, I'll get up, and I'll find my way back. But I'm going to take all the happiness and all the smoke and all the rumors and all the rumblings and all the clicks, and I'm going like the players are. I'm embracing it.
I just decided I'm going to be rooting for the Giants that week.
Yeah, I figured you would be. You better be. It would be more fun. 877-337-6666. Brandon Tierney Salicata on the Fan. All right, so if you just tuned in, bottom line is this, and I understand the trepidation from some, like my partner. It's been basically a decade and a half. The Jets have all the requisite pieces. They have all the horses. Now they need to do it. There's two approaches. Just kind of crawl in quietly or kick open the door and let everybody know we here. And I like the second approach better. I do. BT and Sal on the Fan.